Young was standing in front of Blake, tapping her foot. Blake was sitting on the sofa being glared upon. Gyra was drinking coffee, watching her daughter catch up with her partner. Sun was right next to him, tied up and gagged since he was exposed as a stalker. John was in the kitchen helping Callie with lunch. Callie, so what is your relationship with my daughter? John flinched. Callie noticed that he was disturbed. Callie, I'm sorry if that was insensitive. John, I recently lost someone special to me, so I'm still not open with the idea. But I'm doing my best to move on. Callie, so, John, sigh, mother, I hate the fact you wanted grandbabies. Yes, I'm attracted to Blake, but I'm still not ready. Callie, I understand. It's just my little Blakey attract the worst kind of boyfriends. Then an anime arrow stabbed into the side of John's head. Callie, I don't mean you. It's John. Taurus was a no-brainer, and Sun is deceptively trying to be a nice guy. Callie, it's a shame I liked him, but to find out he stalked my kitten on day one, that grinds my gears. John, glad to see Blake has caring parents. Callie looked at him sadly, finding out about his origins from the Silver Fong and the Wandering Branwen. Back at the dining room. Young, and you just went without saying goodbye. I know your parents are in danger, but I'm your partner, your family in Beacon. Gyra was just staying out of it. It's like a cat playing with its captured mouse. Then John and Callie exits the kitchen with lots of food. Callie, lunch is ready. John, Yang stopped roasting Blake and helped set the table. Young then told Blake that this isn't over. The family is eating while Sun was put far away from them and was given just bananas. Young, I'm still sore about you keeping more secrets from us. And for you to tell that stalker first. Blake just lowers her head and eats her fish. John, Young not at the table. Young, come on. You can't just. John, this is a dining table, not a courtroom. Deal with her later. Young just grumbles and eats her ham. Callie, so, are you two a couple? John instantly chokes on his food as a commotion starts. Blake, M-O-M-M-M-M, as Yang just turned beet red. Gyra stood and helped the young man with the Heimlich maneuver. Sun was just watching. Gyra, I'm sorry about my wife. She can be a handful. Young, I could say the same thing about my partner. Blake, Yang. John, if you two just get it over with before you guys kill me over here. Young. Okay, Blake, we need to talk. Blake just nods, knowing she'll get a scolding. Young, I took my heart out for you. I told you about my past, my mother, my pain. But you couldn't be bothered to share yours. So what if you were in the white van? So what if the psychopath was your first love? You had no right to push us away and run. We love you, Blake, your family. She screams in tears as Blake cries as well. Blake, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't risk getting you all killed by him. I had to go. Jaune, you do know he threatened all of us. Jaune threw a pie at his face. Sun chuckles in the background as Jaune licks off the cream. Jaune, if you have a problem, we stick together. That's what families do. Do you even know what Jaune lost during the fall? How much of a mess he was for weeks? Up until now, I'm helping him hold it together. Then he puts a hand on her shoulder. Jaune, enough, Yang. She understands it now. Yang looks to Blake, who was crying with her hands to her face. Yang felt guilty berating her and moves to hug her as they both cried. Jaune motions for everyone to give them privacy as they began leaving. A hand grabbed Jaune's and pulls him into the hug. Jaune remains impassive as he still tries to control his emotions as he won't let sadness shut him down, but he gave them a big to calm them both down. After a while, they broke the embrace as the duo wipes their tears away. Jaune stood up and made his way to the door to call the parents. Gyra and Kelly moves to comfort Blake as Yang stood alongside them in support. Jaune went to the veranda and gazed up at the night sky upon the broken moon. He then noticed someone on one of the rooftops looking at the house. Jaune, H-U-I, as he jumps up to pursue. Young Jaune. She and Blake joins the hunt along with Sun trailing behind. They caught up to Jaune and the scout only for Blake to see a familiar shade. Blake, Jaune, don't harm her, she's my friend. Jaune looks to her as the assailant went in for a whip strike, to which Jaune blocked, but the whip twirls around Crimson as an electrical current rushed into it, shocking Jaune. In response, he quickly grabbed Azure and used it to absorb the current. Jaune, try again. Ilya, realizing she can't shake off Jaune, tries to stand and fight, but Blake came in and catches her in a grab as they tumbled down. Yang tried to come in for an assist, but an arm stopped her. Then she looks to Jaune. Jaune, let her handle this, it's between old friend Yang. She looks at him in understanding and then looks to Blake worried. The two struggled at each other and argued about their choices in life. Ilya, you left us. Blake, because we were wrong. Ilya, we aren't. Blake, Adam killed people. Innocent people. He caused the attack in Vale. He even swore to kill everyone I cared about. Ilya's eyes widen at her words. Did he really cause that disaster? She thought the Grimm simply broke through. Blake was crying as she points at Yang and Jaune. Blake, he hurt and almost killed my friends. The people I love. He just wants to see the world burn. not save it. Faunus died in Vale, not just humans. Ilya collapsed on the floor, unable to process all the words spoken. She also knew Adam was going in the deep end. But to condemn even his own kind to strike at the humans? Not even Sienna would be that insane. Ilya, I need time. I'm sorry. She shakily stood up as she looks at Blake. Ilya, I'll be back, and we'll talk. I'm sorry, Blake. I wish you took me with you. Blake, there's a lot of things I should have done. Ilya then disappears into the darkness. Yang walks to her partner and kneels beside her to give her a hug. Blake just cries even more in her arms as she sees John walking in front of them, looking at the shattered moon to the city of Kwakuana. John, when the time is right, Blake, when the time is right.